What's up? I'm KluSlim. Thanks so much to Dro TV for having me out. And y'all keep looking up. Sometimes life is messy.
Welcome to My First Time, the show about your first time getting high on marijuana. I'm your host, Mike Freeman with Dro TV. Today, I'd like to welcome our guest, KluSlim. What's happening?
What's up, y'all? I'm KluSlim from Pensacola, Florida. At least that's where I'm living now.
Nice. You can find more KluSlim on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at KluSlim. We'll have all the links in the description below. So dude, thanks for coming on the show. You're out of Pensacola. We just interviewed your homie Jody Joe. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on in Pensacola.
In Pensacola, we run Dizzy Arts and Dizzy Records, which is like the little logo that you see hanging out behind me. And we throw shows here and around the Southeast and really wherever we can get something set up. And we also have our own Twitch stream podcast where we interview a variety of artists, as well as, produce music, make content, do all that fun stuff that we have to do nowadays as artists.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 100% self-driven.
I guess I also could say I rap. That's also what I do. I make rap and, rap. So
cool. Awesome. Do you produce more than you rap?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been producing since I was in high school, and I've only been rapping, at least publishing rap, my own rap for since 2019, really.
Okay. Dope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I definitely want to get more into Dizzy Arts, Dizzy Records, and everything you have going on. But the show is my first time. So we want to know about the first time you got high, KluSlim.
Okay. Whenever you hit me up about this, I was kind of stoked just because my first time is a little later in life than most people's. It was, okay, so I have to get because it happened on New Year's. It literally happened at some point between midnight and the next day that I can't remember if it was the 31st or the 1st of 2012 or 2013. So okay. It's like somewhere around there. I do think it was like when from 2011 became 2012. I think that was like January 1st, 2012. I think that's the day.
Okay.
I'm out at a house party. I'm running sound for my friend's band Characters at this house party. And I was really excited because Dizzy Records has actually just started a few years before that, a year or so actually. And this band was kind of like one of our exciting acts that we were working with at the time. And I had just mastered their album. I was really excited to kind of work with them for this show. While that all is going on, at the same time, I'm fighting an emotional battle because this girl who I thought I was going to marry at the time, I say that's ironically because you're about to interview my fiance next, I think. So the girl I thought I was going to marry at the time, we had just kind of ended our relationship a few days earlier over text. So I was ripe and emotional. I'm going to hang out with my friends. They're throwing the show. I've had a few beers. It's late at night. And the first thing that's offered to me is actually an edible. I ate a weed brownie first because I'm like, I didn't want to smoke. I didn't have any experience with like inhaling smoke at that time because I realize I'm 18 years old. No, 19, 20. I was 20 years old at the time. I was 20 years old. And I eat this weed brownie, obviously edible, first time, nothing's going to happen in the first 30 minutes. It's New Year's Eve at a party. I want to know what weed feels like. Somebody's handing me a joint. I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the moment. I'm getting high now. Because I didn't believe the edible was real. Like, I was like, there's no way like a brownie is gonna get you high. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, yeah.
So somebody hands me a joint, and I remember like hitting the joint, kind of like feeling it hit me. And honestly, the rest of the night is a blur from there. I know I had quite a bit of champagne after that.
Nice.
Um, but I do remember, I explicitly remember the walk home from my friend's house and feeling the lightness of being stoned on that walk home. Because I've done that walk tons of times drunk, you know, but this was, and this is like right around outside of the gates of LSU in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is where I was living at the time.
Okay.
Because I was going to LSU at the time. And I'm walking from my friend's house back to my apartment building, and just the cool evening, late at night, the new year, feeling kind of the lightness of the high. I was like, I kind of like this shit. You know, I could be
Yeah.
about this. And that's really the start of where I started smoking weed. Flash forward to now, I've got the dabber with the e-nail next to me, which is a
The
high tech.
evolution of a stoner.
Yes, yeah, exactly. You know, I had to evolve with the times.
That's
Uh,
it.
but yeah, that was really that first experience. Shout out. Actually, it's funny. The guy who made this physical like rendition of the logo,
Mhm.
it has a acoustic foam built into it because
Sweet.
it was in the studio mix room of my original studio. Um, the guy who built this is the guy who actually handed me that first joint,
Hey, all right.
and he was the drummer in that band Characters. Yeah,
Nice.
cool guy. Shout out Josh.
Shout outs to Josh. So did you graduate a Tiger?
Absolutely not. I have not finished college yet. Still working on that. I mean, look, I'm purple and gold till I die. I produced a song for LSU
Okay.
that I'll send you a link after. It's an unlisted link, so I'm not allowed to like talk about it publicly anymore. Well, I mean, I am allowed to talk about it publicly, but he doesn't share the link publicly. The music's all online. The video is really funny. We had like the LSU Tiger Band in it. Yeah, it's goofy, but
Nice.
yeah.
So were you going to school for music?
No, had I kind of made a decision when I started school that I thought was a good decision. I went to school for business uh, at first, and then I bounced around degrees, and now I have a ton of credits in a bunch of different areas. I probably should have gone with music, but I didn't. I went with business and quit because you didn't learn anything. I
Yeah.
was running my own business at the same time and felt like it was,
Learning a lot more from the business.
yeah. Um, and yeah, flash forward to where I am now, I would not trade that journey for anything. I feel like what I learned failing and trying again and everything in between is so much more valuable than paying for an education could have.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I have some credit card debt I had to pay off at one time for bad equipment choices, but it's nothing like college debt.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll still be with you.
Yeah.
So you made that journey home, many nights drunk. After you made that journey home stoned, was there a decision made where it's like, I'd rather do this stoned than drunk? Or was it still like, I'm in college, man, I'm gonna do both?
That's a really great question. Um, I didn't like drinking that much, but I didn't. I will say, in short, yes, but that realization didn't come until years later. just because when I was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana is such a drinking city. It's hard not to be an alcoholic in Louisiana, and especially in Baton Rouge. And it was, I mean, it's not just like so in saying that, yes, I preferred it immediately. It was like my go-to choice. I would much rather be high to this day, but I wasn't able to break from alcohol until I moved to Florida and was in a state where it was medicinal, and I had like my card, so I'm no longer, I don't feel that, I don't feel a social anxiety for being stoned or smoking weed or consuming my fucking medicine. Like, cause it's like, well, you can buy a bottle of wine, so mine isn't fucking up my liver,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like, let me do my thing. But because of that peer pressure, I didn't really split from alcohol until I actually moved to Florida. But now I'd always much rather be high.
Hey everybody, I want to quickly mention food forest abundance. Food forest abundance is a great way to create your own self-sustaining food forest and naturally occurring ecosystem that's commonly found in nature, but designed specifically for you. Through multiple layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, vines, rhizomes, mushrooms, and perennial vegetables, you can become your own supply chain without the typical maintenance required of a garden. From small spaces to large areas, both urban and suburban, Food Forest Abundance wants us to get back to our roots in nature by engaging with our food production in a meaningful way. For more information, click on the link in the description below and start your journey today. Okay, let's get back to today's episode. So, when did you start Dizzy Arts and Dizzy Records?
Dizzy Records started in 2010, when I moved back. When I started college at LSU, initially, because the band I was in at the time, King Babylon, we recorded, or we were shoving a bunch of genres into one band, and in that process, like while we were making that record, I decided I wanted to start my record label because I was also starting a recording studio at the time. And my friend, who's actually the guitarist and lead singer for the band, Ponch Bueller, is the guy who designed the logo and gave me the nickname Dizzy at the time because I was making him dizzy trying to put so many genres into one band. Because we were like punk, reggae, ska, hardcore, and hip hop all in one band. And it was great. Definitely yeah, songs are still on Bandcamp. I'll have to link that.
Nice.
Good times, but I forgot what the question was now that I've rambled about that.
Yeah, so you started Dizzy Records 2010.
Oh yeah, and we were producing that record, and he kind of gave me the name Dizzy, and so I ran the studio for a couple years, and then a friend I was working with, I was recording his band at the time. I went over to his apartment and saw he had a shit ton of art all over his walls, and I was like, "Yo, whose art is this?" And he's like, "Yo, it's mine." And I was like, "Why aren't you showing people this art? This is really dope." And so I kind of came up with the idea, hey, why don't I throw a house party? I can get Dizzy Records artists to fill the house party with music, and then I can have local artists show their art on the wall. And so that's how Dizzy Arts parties were born. And they were just house parties with a bunch of punk bands in the living room and then art all around the walls, and just a bunch of college kids getting drunk, listening, in cocktail attire, though. That was the other key thing. Every party was cocktail attire. Okay. We let people determine what that was. Some people showed up in tuxes. Some people showed up in shorts, like whatever their version of it was. But like, okay. They all kind of felt a little classier just saying they were cocktail attire, but it was dumb college kids not knowing what the fuck they were doing. Like, we were just tried to look classy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So threw some good parties, and then took those parties to venues and built it up from there. Took artists to South by Southwest a few years. Brought some of my friends from high school in the Middle East over to the States to help work with us a few times. And other than that, I ended up moving to Pensacola in around 2017, just to kind of change scenery. And I felt I didn't like where the Baton Rouge music industry was kind of moving at the time. Throwing shows there wasn't as friendly to the clusterfuck style that our shows were known to be.
Mhm.
So I wanted to regroup and reorganize. So I moved to Pensacola and took a break for maybe a year or so, and then started up right before the pandemic, and like picked up a bunch of steam, and we were chugging along, and then had like a whole year planned, as everybody did. I had a tour, like I had booked my first national tour with KluSlim. I was going from Austin, Texas to Brooklyn. I had 17 dates mapped out. It was
Wow.
beautiful. It was me and Episodic Memory from Austin, Texas. He had invited me. It was like, so I'd been making music as KluSlim for several years before that. And then I released my first hip hop EP as KluSlim at the end of 2019. And in January of 2020, Episodic Memory, who I had played a show with 4 years prior when I was doing only instrumental stuff, heard my new stuff, was like, hey, I have this tour booked. I need an opener. Can you join me? I was like, I'm about it. So I helped him book the rest of the tour. And then COVID hits in March, and it was like, so.
Have you performed at all lately, like in the last several months?
Yeah, I just performed in Orlando in
Sweet.
July.
Okay.
And then I performed in Pensacola in June. I was in Georgia in April, Arkansas in March, and New Orleans in February this year.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah.
Where in Orlando?
I played at Grumpy's Underground in Orlando, Florida. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little hole in the wall underground venue for sure.
Okay. We're based out of Orlando. I'm not familiar with that place, so I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, definitely look it up. If you want a good spot for people to interview, look for some folks to interview. There are some definite weed smokers at Grumpy's Underground.
All right.
It's a I have two friends that throw shows there. Dr. Freeman of 98 ENT and Cheeseburger both throw shows there, and they get that place lit. Like that was, I mean, the show in Orlando, that was, to this date, it's one of the best shows I've had in terms of why I do it as a performer, which is to connect with a crowd and see the effect that my lyrics and music actually like has on somebody. Because when they're listening, like people don't have a choice in how their body responds, you know, like some, especially if you're doing it right, they don't have a choice. They're gonna like, something is gonna happen. And it's really exciting to have put all this work into it. And COVID kind of took all the wind out of my sails, but then to really get out there and like do it in front of people and realize like, oh, okay, shit. Yeah, this music still does connect with people. Got to keep pushing on, you know?
Yeah. We're gonna be set up at the Canna Fest in Mount Dora in November.
No shit.
Yeah. You coming down to the event?
We are trying to, we just sent an email to them the other day,
Okay.
asking if Dizzy Arts could come be a part. So hopefully I will be down there.
Awesome.
It's definitely, that's the November 5th and 6th at Mount Dora, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely very interested in that festival. I'm going to Dab Day, so that I am going to
Nice. There you go.
in Jacksonville on the 31st or 29th of not on Halloween, on the 29th of October.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make that one, but it looks like it's going to be a great time. So
Yeah, but hopefully I see you at CannaFest. Otherwise, it's cool to know that you're in Orlando.
yeah. So what's Pensacola? Like 3, 4 hours from here?
Six-ish, five,
Six.
six-ish. Yeah, five,
Yeah, I must be
six.
thinking Tallahassee then. So you west of Tallahassee?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
That makes
I
sense.
am I am the last stop before you hit Alabama.
Right before
Literally.
Bama. Okay.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
it's really funny when the dudes from Orlando came here for the podcast. They were like, yeah, so back in Florida is what they kept saying. And I'm like, yo, we're still in Florida. Okay. Give me some credit. I'm not in Alabama yet.
well, I was going to ask, how does one end up in Pensacola?
Um, honestly, you take a little life vacation and live with your parents on in Perdido Key when they had a nice spot on the beach.
Okay.
I definitely took advantage of that for a couple months and worked night audit at a bunch of beachside hotels and used that time. I was like sitting in night audit and rebuilt my beat library essentially. Like
Nice.
would sit there for hours on my computer just when nobody's there, just making music and writing a shit ton of lyrics. But yeah, ended up coming here and bought a house. So I'm kind of stuck for now. And ironically met the love of my life who she didn't know how the fuck she ended up here either. We're both born in Georgia, but
Okay.
met in Pensacola. Shout out Mark Zuckerberg. He helped us meet, Facebook dating. It's the way to go.
Well, I guess that's not too far off. I mean, Georgia, Pensacola,
Yeah.
it's in the region, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I love the beach and it's like, it's not too touristy. It's still small city feeling. I went to high school in Dubai for 3 years. So like I was kind of spoiled with what beaches are like. But I do love warm weather and I don't like being completely in a swamp. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this is the affordable medium.
yeah, yeah. Nice. Um, so any upcoming shows or record songs to be released?
Well, honestly, my Prince of Thieves music video has been in the works since 2020. Unfortunately, it's been quite an undertaking. My my VFX guy is currently backpacking his way through Europe, so not much progress is happening on it right now. Eventually, it's going to get finished. I'm kind of a release dates aren't as important to me anymore. Let me just explain a little bit because I'm trying to make stuff that lasts beyond just like an initial hype period. Uh, and I know that that takes time to learn how to do it right when you are an independent label and you don't have like a team of people that are criticizing you the whole time, like saying like, okay, hey, this is how you make this better, you
Sure.
know? And so rather than putting out something that was subpar, I will put it out when I'm 40 years old, if that's how long it takes to get it right, because I know that that piece of art is supposed to stand the test of time when it happens.
Sure.
Rather than, but as of right now, I have a bunch of songs I'm working on. I will have some singles dropping before the end of the year. Now that I've said it, I have to hold myself to it. And I don't have any shows lined up, but I have a bunch lined up next year. Can't announce them yet, but they're going to be bigger.
Awesome. Well, yeah, hopefully we get to see you at CannaFest and definitely keep us informed so we can share it on the page.
Definitely.
Any videos, tracks, or upcoming shows, we'd be happy to promote those. So
Awesome. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah. And we'll have to get you down to Pensacola to join us on the podcast sometime. That'd be awesome because Jody's one of our hosts. So we can just smoke you out on the show.
That sounds good. I'll get DeSantis's private jet as soon as he's around, and we'll head back up that way. And
sounds like a plan. Glad to know that you're in with DeSantis.
Well, once I tell him I'm a weed guy, I'm sure he'll invite me.
Oh yeah, of course. That's how it goes. They just put a bunch of money into it now, so yeah.
Hey,
Well,
so, KluSlim, it was great chatting with you, my man. I had a pleasure. Definitely look forward to, like I said, hearing some of the music and all the stuff that you guys have going on. So definitely let us know, tag us, whatever we need to do to help promote. We're Dro TV. We always appreciate people coming on our show and our channel. So anything we can do to reciprocate. So let everybody know the best place they can find you and more of Dizzy Arts and Dizzy Records.
Most important thing is KluSlim stands for Keep Looking Up. Sometimes life is messy. That's KluSlim, KluSlim. I'm the only one out there with that name. So if you just search that, everywhere with that is me. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube Music. Best place to keep up with me on like a day-to-day basis is Instagram. That's KluSlim on Instagram or KluSlim on Twitter. You can shoot me a DM. I may or may not respond, but hey, I'm there. You can try to reach me.
Nice. And we'll have all the links down below. So definitely go give my man here, KluSlim, a follow. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go down and smash that like button for KluSlim and subscribe to Dro TV if you haven't already here on YouTube, because otherwise you'd miss great guests like KluSlim and awesome interviews like this one. So thanks again, my friend. Sorry, I'm usually ill-prepared when it comes to my ending here. But as always, we say, smoke them if you got them. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. So what's up, Dro TV family? You can now stream the audio version of all these episodes on your favorite podcast player. And if you like more episodes like this, check out this playlist we put together over here for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. You don't want to miss more great content from Dro TV. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, smoke them if you got them.